What is everybody doing? Can anybody hear the feedback? Let's get it going. We have new Super Bowl champions in the Seattle Seahawks. And bad news of supporting the 49ers. The Seattle Seahawks are new Super Bowl champions. Fuck. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Out of all the things I need to see, it's gonna be oh Sam Darnold and his fucking derp face has to be Super Bowl champions. But how's everybody doing in the chat? How's everybody doing? Put this up for anybody. We had an insane Super Bowl halftime performance. I like the atmosphere. Sure, I'm not that much into the Latino culture, but if you guys wanted to see like an atmospheric like vibe, oh, AJ Lee's backstage with CM Punk. Is that Becky Lynch? Why is Io Sky and Rhea Ripley just sitting around the crowd? Why? And Liv Morgan and Raquel are still playing darts after costing her the women's world title the week prior with Dominic back from injury. Bad news, by the way, if guys didn't keep up with the IWC, Braun Breaker's injured. He left for immediate surgery after his little spaz out post Royal Rumble. Any of you guys enjoyed the any Seattle Seahawks fans enjoyed the defensive shutout a la Legion of Boom style? Oh, but Becky Lynch is here. Is this better than her previous like theme song? The whoa! I know she was more of the predominant main face of the women's division that time, and now she's just holding on to the women's Intercontinental title, trying to give it some prestige, I guess. And I think Becky is a bit upset after the return of AJ Lee. People were expecting her to return at the Royal Rumble to be a surprise return after her WrestlePalooza return in ring, and then that bitch didn't appear in like several months afterwards because of a book tour. And now, let me see what Becky's saying. Oh God. It's my show. I don't know, Becky. It's so hard to make her like a heel. She does a better job working as a heel recently, but yeah, I don't know. And AJ Lee rudely interrupts the champion. At least we got more of a predominant focus with them because that freaking Rollins is injured. But stop giving this nigga a mic in his hands. I swear to God. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I'm eating your girl. I mean, I'm eating some fried fish. Oh. Maxine. I do disagree that Seth Rollins saying that it's hard to be a heel nowadays. Oh. Bitch. She's barely here. ESPN thought that PLE was so mid they rated it. I forgot that she was in War Games, man. Oh my God. The Disney acting between these women is crazy. What the fuck is Becky doing? I don't think she originally resided from Chicago, but we know she lives there with CM Punk now. Some of these wrestlers need to go to acting school. Okay. Triple H stopped with these 4-match PLE takeovers that cost $30. Are we gonna do a parlay on the sales for WWE 2K26 come next month? Because you're paying $150. You want her out of your life. That the big time is fighting for the second best belt on the roster. By the way, can the production team do like previously on Monday Night Raw? Please. You guys try to make it less and less episodic. Oh, here comes Brunson Reed. Bad news for the Vision, losing Braun Breaker. Austin Theory, what the fuck are you trying to look like Flip Morgan for? And here comes Logan Paul. Qualifying match for a triple threat, but the Usos are in business. You mean our music? Oh yeah, didn't Tozawa and Otis earn the title shot? Day one is just me, Oos. Thank God Jimmy's here to carry Jey Uso's mistakes. And we have a qualifying match. It got to be 3 ways, apparently. Because, it's too basic to do singles. So we'll do 3 ways so you know that these guys are still on the roster. I love it. Are you enjoying the show? What do you mean we weren't top 10 on Netflix again? I said, are you enjoying the show? Day one is just news. But American Alpha, Tozawa, and Otis. You think there's going to be an outside interference for a storyline with Jey Uso or something? Ah. The intermediate bias, all because Jey Uso is supposed to be like the yeet guy. To just dap up the commentary, it's killing me. It's like, Jay, wasn't that experiment fun when we had you be a single star? But hey, you know where Jimmy is, right? Know your place. Just know, guys, if you get the Attitude Era edition and the Monday Night Wars edition, there's no difference. You have the permission to buy more shit. You don't have the permission of Profit. You don't have the permission to access more of the game so you can play more of the game modes with more of the wrestlers or more of the stages. You don't even get physical shit. You don't even get the streaming access to watch a year's worth of wrestling with your PLEs with less content to watch past weekly content. So just know, if you're getting WWE 2K26, you're automatically fucked. Because that means you have to enforce grinding so you can enforce getting the microtransaction. The only thing is you don't profit off these fucking video games. I'm sorry, let me drink something. Because when I heard of a pass system on a WWE 2K game, I just automatically give up. I automatically lost my patience. I apologize. But I did. Watch Jey Uso in the middle of Thanos' attack, and he's asking for y'all to run it back. Jey Uso asking for y'all to run it back when the Nuremberg assault is going on. Jey Uso asking you to run it back over in D-Day, folks. And people say it's forced hate. I'm sorry, it's not. Niggas don't fuck with Jey Uso because when you mute the music, when he tries to get over authentically, that shit's mute as a motherfucker. Y'all never gave me his top 5 moments outside of feuding with Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. And then it's abuse if we don't give him a chance automatically because he's not Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. I had never heard shills or notable content creators of WWE that react to WWE content say one positive thing about WWE Unreal. And here comes Akira Tozawa. Oh, Street Profits. Montez Ford. Oh, God, guys, we got to talk about Montez Ford for a second. Montez Ford. Montez Ford is fat as fuck. Oh, I've lost it. I lost all hope on a successful black man making it out of tag team purgatory, because we've heard anybody that talks about the Street Profits talk about this goes with plenty of tag teams out of time. They hit the ceiling when it comes to consistent success, and like any tag team, they try to enforce a breakup. But usually, there's always a Michaels to the Jannetty, sometimes equally successful. I.e., people thought Montez Ford would be successful over guys like Angelo Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins holding him back. I don't know if Montez Ford is bulking, but I don't know if it's conditioning thing, an abuse thing, or some backstage politicking that I don't know. I saw that nigga go for belly looking like Zion Williamson before the Ozempic, bro. And if that's the reason why he's doing NXT live events, missing out on his chances on his prime years, there's more we got to talk about. Because if I'm seeing that after seeing you with a six-pack with a good cut, doing athletic moves, showing charisma and having a good vibe with you, and then you showing up over at Beer Belly, missing out on your chances, that's not a bulk. It's not a bulk. That breaks my heart. Because I was a fan of Montez Ford of the Street Profits. All right, we're opening the match over with Montez Ford giving a shoulder tackle over to Jey Uso and immediately getting the tag over to Akira Tozawa. God damn it. You guys can remember the 3 tag teams that exist in the tag divisions that are not the War Raiders or the New Day. I will pay you personally. Because that would be impressive. I'm not going to lie. Front face lock over by Tozawa. I don't know how much audio I can clip in without being copyrighted, but I'll probably show the results. And it seems like Javon Evans would have a surprise tag team partner to match up against Los Americanos, and I bet it's going to be El Grande Americano. the Chad Gable one, because apparently we're still doing that storyline after like Chad Gable's missed like months of TV. But I guess it's gonna be a thing where we're gonna have like a Sin Cara Negro esque storyline involving the real and fake one, even though there's distinctive. Oh God, didn't get all of it. Tozawa was trying to do a spin kick again and missed over the head. Then he retries it. Cover 1, 2, barely a 2 count. And Jimmy Uso goes out. Jay Uso goes for a lariat, gets hit with an enziguri. Both men are down. It looks like Tozawa's with all the momentum in the world. Otis trying to help. Needing a little boost. Oh, he catches him. He's going to gorilla press him outside. Onto the Usos. I wish this would be more legitimately built up because I feel like they really lost their chance of Tozawa and they're just swamping around. I guess because the rest of the tag teams were either irrelevant or like heels that would already like not be in the Usos level. I think I saw Roberto still tagging with Angel Garza. Yeah, I think Berto's still tagging with Garza. These guys have been on the roster since what, 2019? And they've been just a perennial basic bitch tag team. They're not even part of LAX, I think. Not LAX, LLWO. Damn, me personally. I'd end it right there. Jimmy, off the whip. Holds over the ropes, getting Jey Uso out the way after the counter of the Irish whip. Ooh, into a midair Samoan drop. Damn. Otis looking over in despair. The crowd looking dead. Shout out to the tarp business. My tarp business was impressive. Come WrestleMania, tarp business, we're trying to make record profits. Like we did for Evolution Backlash. I think around like what, last year? I'm just seeing what we can profit with. In my opinion, I feel like we can do more. And it's a shame too. Montez Ford is in this poor condition because they did book them for possibly teasing a breakup angle back at Backlash of last year, and since then they've done nothing. And thanks we got basic bitch ass, mid ass Triple H. We're gonna get these storylines backwinded on TV, weekly TV that can't draw, and then we can't even endorse what's going on the weekly TV because we only have NXT Prime NXT Takeover formats with more ads that you have to pay $30+ a month for. For what, son? For what? And now Jey Uso's giving a headlock. You were a babyface. Why are you in the headlock, bro? And now Tozawa's battling over. They're obviously the underdogs because they've been the joke tag team of the roster. Used to be affiliated with Chad Gable until he made American Made. Now both trading blows. Tozawa with Jey Uso, the former world champion. And he gets hit with a right hand and just blur out. Just a transition. Onto the ropes. Into a DDT. Jay needs to get all the momentum going after Tozawa hit him with the DDT. Here's the hot tag. Rolls him over and tackles Jey Uso out the ring. Super kick to the midsection. Uppercut into an Irish whip. Ooh, poor launch over. That was a weak ass over the shoulder by Otis. Oh, oh, power slam, clever. You know how bad it is for like older fans to come back and there's like, yeah, guys, I love you guys, but Saudi Arabia ain't it. And Otis balding, by the way. Otis is balding. Going for the caterpillar, but misses the super kick. Didn't get all of it with Jey Uso. And super kick to Tozawa. And there's a tag. Double super kick to Otis. Oh, nigga no sells it for a double lariat. Double clothesline by Otis. And there's a tag to Tozawa. High double drop kick on both Usos. And a tope suicida by Tozawa. To Jay, to Jimmy. And another one. Oh. Tozawa trying to mock Jey Uso, trying to run it back to back suicide dives. Tozawa. Oh. And a flying senton from the top. No, kick out of two by Jimmy Uso. It's been an enjoyable enough tag team match to start. There's the hot tag. I mean, here comes the tag to Otis. Oh, Tozawa rolls out the way. Super kick. God damn. I think they miss all the time when they're trying to go for Tozawa because he's so short. Oh. Super kick by Jimmy. Double spear by the Usos. They probably going for 1D. 1D. 1, 2, 3. Well, not bad. Not bad. This was perennially expected. But decent work by the Usos. Decent enough match. It didn't drag and they didn't do the run it back yeet thing in the middle of the match to not sell them as a threat. In this babyface clash. Tozawa killed it, though. He was probably the most enjoyable part of this match. Showing good sportsmanship and all work rate. Generally, a decent opener was around 15 plus minutes of decent work, even though Tozawa was really getting his offense in. It took several spots of Otis no selling double super kicks, get killed off the double spear into the 1D. Now, Byron Saxon's got something to say. Oh, fucking Christ. With the heat to begin. Nigga sounds like a Pokemon. Yeah, I swear to God. Uh-huh. Jimmy Uso trying to egg on his bro. Byron Saxon stole that suit. Ew. You guys gonna pay off your mortgage the time WrestleMania comes around so you can go to Vegas again to call in the mid show for 2 nights? Roman Reigns already picked his opponent, and that will be CM Punk for the world's heavyweight title. For half of it. So why are you glorifying yourself for doing that for a calendar year? This nigga carried a company. I know this is going by storyline because there's a come up period. Roman Reigns trying to take what's his. You know the funniest thing about all this? Nigga could have chose Chris Hero. Imagine Chris Hero instead of Roman Reigns. Fat ass Cassius Ono that got squashed in 13 seconds to Matt Riddle. Come on, folks. Come on. Out of all the things you need to hear. Instead of the tribal chief, we could have gotten Kings of Wrestling. Cassius Ono with his Lakers t-shirt, beer belly, but he can do stiff shots to the head. Nigga, fuck out of here. All due respect to Chris Hero. I need children that buy action figures and play my video game. You just obviously slapping your thigh with no marketability, wet hair, fat ass. With your one forearm smash, you're just a colonized Gunter. So it will be Punk versus Roman Reigns for the world's heavyweight title. What's going to be the plan for the division without one of their major threats? Major members out of Braun Breaker that they wanted to carry around, but he wasn't really drawing anyway. Oh, here comes Liv Morgan. This is the craziest thing. I think people are trying to forget 2019. I still can't get over it. Like the first time I saw her after coming from NXT. Hey, Liv, we're gonna put you in a storyline involving a breakup angle with Rusev and Lana in an affair angle. Oh, that's awesome. So what? I'm supposed to get Rusev? No, you're getting Lana. Bobby Lashley's technically with Rusev Bobby Lashley's technically with Lana already, and they're like already swapping kisses already. Yeah, but you want Lana, and I'm gonna start doing cocaine now. Oh okay. Y'all want to go back to 2019 wrestling? That's y'all fault. And Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan here. Hopefully they don't do a promo segment to waste any more time. Lead. Liv Morgan got rudely interrupted on SmackDown over who would be her opponent for the women's title or the Raw Women's World title or the Women's World Championship. If it wasn't for Jade Cargill, and of course Jordan Grace. Shut up, Alan Jones. Oh my. Oh yeah, you gotta reference Saudi. AJ. Shout out to TNA. We know Xavier Woods for Creed. Consequences Creed. Shout out to him. Shout out for fucking Page too. Ah, you fuck you. You are part of Page's list of bodies. No, it wasn't supposed to be CM Punk career for Showcase, but it's supposed to be my career. The show never stops without me, because of course when you reference the Attitude Era, it has me, the Game, Triple H, the King of Kings. And Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan interrupted. 2, 3, still women's champion. There needs to be a legitimate storyline, I feel like, to get behind because I know people acknowledge how good Stephanie Vaquero is in ring wise, but it's just the lack of trying to push her in stuff to actually engage her as a character. It's the same way about how WWE's fumbling Julia. We can't book her into stuff. Oh, Dominic interrupts Liv Morgan. But grabs roses for Liv. Bro, I'm so single. I forgot that Valentine's Day is still a thing. Holy shit. No. You forgot to say AEW champion for Dominic Mysterio. Former AEW champion. Yeah, shout out to ChatGPT, folks. Oh. What? I thought that was Kane. And Stephanie Vaquero interrupts Dominic Mysterio's last words. The women's world champion is here. Where's my audience at? Latina's here, guys. I mean, not as a guest, but she's on Raw right now, looking like a member of Broke Chicks. I forgot who that actress's name is. But how are we rating Stephanie Vaquero's women's title reign so far? I know it's not that long, but not a lot of people are talking about it. Much. Oh, she talks. Get the get the ice cream truck. Get the ice cream truck for a Stephanie Vaquero promo. Trump would hate this episode of Raw. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. If anybody can hear the audio, because obviously I can't show the footage. Uh, or yours. Oh man. Oh, but slaps Dominic Mysterio instead. It looked like he leaned into that bullshit. Well, language barrier was most of the conversation. And Stephanie Becker doesn't care who Liv Morgan picks, but hopes she picks her. Ilya. Oh no, it's Ivy Niles. With the feather things, with the feather wings. Ivy Niles. What? I saw the audio clips of her. I saw the audio clips of the bitch trying to get "you suck" chants clipping around. Are they trying to make it like the female Kurt Angle? Why? Yeah, it looks like a lunchbox. Woo. What was that, Finn Balor? Oh no, it's so women. Oh, we're doing a triple threat match now. Well, it's gonna be Lyle Valkyria, Rhea Ripley. Mm-mm. I'm done eating fish bones. Oh my god. Dun, dun, dun. Woo! Woo! Does anybody understand that these three-way matches just feel unnecessary? That's cool. Because I think it's obvious that Ivy Niles is going to be the odd one out. Yeah, okay. So Patriots. Oh man, I'm still flabbergasted how underwhelming this game was for Patriots' performance. Shout out to Kenneth Walker. Played outstanding. Nuggets got the Cavs. Harden did well in his debut game for the Cavs, but I think we know how this goes. Lakers got the Thunder. God bless the Lakers. They're playing the Thunder. Oh shit. Lyra Valkyria looks straight out of Whoville with that hairstyle, bro. Will be a Vegas again with more repetitive B-roll. Not even skits. To show who is this random. Oh God, who picked this ensemble for Becky Lynch to wear? Oh, for them to just sit down and look aristocratic. Are they going to at least fight? No, they're not. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. You guys excited to waste another mortgage for WrestleMania? Give me a hell yeah. I said, give me it. I'm leaking your group chats. I'll find a way. Here comes American made Ivy Niles. Obviously, she looks well trained. Her body language, I can't tell if it's supposed to be serious or tired. Where's the use luck chance coming from and why do they look so minutely muted, bro? Are they audio clipping in? We'll be here again. Didn't they try 15 years for the last 15 years to try to relocate an NBA team to Las Vegas? Pistons are up 83-69 against the Hornets. Bulls are down by 6 against the Brooklyn Nets of all teams. Utah Jazz, they're not tanking. Why aren't they tanking? Against the Miami Heat, 61-52. Bucks are up 54-51. Against the Orlando Magic. Hawks are trailing 48-62 against the Timberwolves, getting rid of Rob Dillingham at the deadline. And the Sacramento Kings are in the tank bowl trying to tank 31 to they're trailing by 16 by the Pelicans. Somehow they had bare minimum of trade assets. Getting rid of Dennis Schroeder. I swear to God, he's played for so many jerseys, he could probably make a Power Rangers team. This is my brutality. Here comes Rhea Ripley. Probably the odds-on favorite to make it out of the triple threat match and make another Elimination Chamber appearance. So is that photoshopped of Jordan Grace with Rhea Ripley's face holding the women's world title? That looks so wrong. That looks so wrong. I wish I could show this. Those are my brutality. Ooh, I'm feeling, no feeling, oh. Well, we'll have a three-way qualifier with 2 5'0" women with a woman that looks like 5'9". Oh, and Lyra Valkyria would already escape the outside of the ring, let 2 women go at it. Out of Niles. Oh, lariat. Into a forearm. And Ivy now reverse Irish whip into a drop kick. And Valkyria. Oh, God. Her face does look like a crescent move. Oh, goes for a small pinfall. No. Cradle goes nowhere. Into the ropes. Duck and cover. Leapfrog. Why are you trying to hit these athletic ass moves like you're not taller than her? stomp her down or miss moves from Lyra. Oh, but somehow Ivy Niles comes with a double German suplex on both women. Okay. And I hit, steel steps, but Rhea Ripley, a bit of a slip by Ivy Niles. Pushes her for an electric chair. Oh, but launches her face first into the hardest part of the ring. Me. You guys like that? You like it? Okay, all right. Zarkta took out the one-on-one qualifying matches. I wonder what's like the legitimate like heat you can get in the roster in the modern day of pro wrestling. You know how explicit it is now that crossbody by Lyra Valkyria on Ivy Niles near fall. Another knee strike. Because I think most of the male call-ups are doing more momentum than the female call-ups currently from coming from NXT. I think Blake Monroe would also struggle, but she does have more of a legitimate look. Unless you want to account, damn, I think the only like legit, the only legit one that looks good so far is Lash Legend. So far, even though I love Kiana James, but she never gets a reaction. Ooh, rolls under and then a super kick by Rhea Ripley. I don't know why you're not hitting her like a big butt. Like you tower on these women. Ooh, and the knee strike hits her for a vice grip into a pinfall into a reverse Boston Crab. And then pushes her into a submission hold. Oh, goddamn. That sounds like some shit you do to your girl when she's on the same bed and y'all play wrestling. Dragon suplex by Ivy Niles. Okay, finally a legit looking move. Cover two. Because I don't. I think I see people do that submission spot, and I guess they go near the turnbuckle with it. Power bomb. Ooh. Going for a razor's edge over by Ripley, and then gets pushed over to the ring post. The major threats out of the picture. It's just Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Niles over the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl into a gut-wrench suplex. Cover. 1, 2. No, mamma mia. Holds her head first into like a DDT underarm position. Oh, pushes Lyra Valkyria onto the turnbuckle to make Rhea Ripley lose balance. And then we just awkwardly transition over to commercial. Not even a picture-in-picture to see what the high spot's going to be. And we're still battling over. Why? You gotta love Netflix, y'all. Their pacing system works so well. Oh, and it's not technically ad-free. Isn't that cool? It works. It works. We're gonna have a 3-person suplex here. Oh, there it is. Under the ropes into a German suplex into a superplex. And I'm guessing Rhea Ripley had the worst receiving end of it coming from the highest spot of the turnbuckle. And Ivy Niles has the best chance to take an opening out of this. And I'm muting it because I hate hearing the fucking commentary. Oh, running high kick to the corner. I really hope Ivy Niles doesn't end up like Vicky Starks and does those running side kicks where she fucks up her legs and she misses the full year. Back buddy facebuster into a running drop kick by Rhea Ripley. Nile takes a harsh hit. Oh, nice, beautiful transition into a pin by Ivy, not by Valkyria. Oh, nice roll up pin. Gets reversed immediately. I hate that Ripley's trying to do these in-ring mat skills, and it just looks so illegitimate. She is a powerhouse with the height advantage, and she's trying to go for these fucking ground kicks, fam. And yet again going for the electric chair. Ah, bro, this is sloppy. I expected more off these women because I've seen Ripley have entertaining three-way matches before. And she's trying to go pace for pace. And, oh, wow. Doomsday Device hits for a facebuster. Ivy Nile misses the chance to interrupt the spot and goes immediately into a pinfall on Lyra because she was already down by Ripley. Going for a suplex. And Ripley, oh, and Nile hit her with a German. Referee focusing on the pinfall, too, near fall. Nobody saw the winner yet. But with both women down, Ivy Niles has an advantage. Oh, look at her. Oh, inside cradle, 2. Trying to go for an extended time suplex. Enziguri by Valkyria. Mamma mia. Oh. Oh, damn. Ivy Nile, 2. No, near fall. Why is the crowd so dead for that spot with the reverse kick into the suplex? Oh, Enziguri. Oh. Spinning Uranagi goes for a near fall. Will she go for a Fujiwara armbar? No, it's a front face lock. Dragon Sleeper. Oh, God, I'm smelling your armpit. Ripley interrupts with a headbutt. Riptide. Backstabber by Ivy Nile. Rolls up. Going for the Nightwing. Ivy. There it is. Nightwing by Lyra Valkyria. And a running need to stop the pinfall was Rhea Ripley. Finally catching an opening. Riptide. Cover. 1, 2, 3. As expected. Well, sadly, Lyra Valkyria doesn't win. Not as good as the tag match. I felt like Rhea was trying to do too much. I'm trying to keep up over the same pace. Like the life of psychology was tough. I like some of the spots Ivy Nile was doing, but it's obvious that they don't value her in the women's division. But Ripley does progress to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Yeah! Mommy wins! Jim, your wife and kids are here. Mommy wins! Mommy wins! Oh, hell no. This guy's a fucking loser. So what else going to be segmented on? Oh, nursing Dominic slap. These guys are going to be 2K. Oh, brother wasn't even at the Rumble. I heard they might headline him. How long is this Judgment Day shit still gonna last, bro? They outstayed their welcome. Oh no. Cleveland, I did it for you. Until we lose in the first round, and then I asked for a trade, and then I called Daryl Morey a liar one more time. Fuck you, Harden. Fuck you, Jonesy. I love saying that. I don't know why. Oh, let me guess. Javon Evans is here. Oh, huh. We're probably under commercial, folks. Javon Evans is under a promo. I know Javon Evans speaks like quite a YN, so it might take a while for you guys to understand the dialect. Yeah. Javon is still intervening with El Grande Americano. This brother was at the Rumble. They want to know who's going to be the surprise tag team partner. It's going to be the original El Grande, isn't it? Unless they say it's Rusev. That nigga ain't showing up. I wouldn't be surprised if he asked for his release. They hold the shit out of Rusev his second stint in the company. Let's see. Thanks, my nigga. Thank you, young OG. Imagine Mike Tenay says that. What's cracking, Jack? We back here live here on Impact. Shout out to Mike Tenay. Don West, God bless your soul. I don't think they'll ever do the SmackDown in Raw presents because you niggas don't care about the brand split. This is just how you remember that these guys are employed. War Machine. War Machine. Oh, we have a tag match? Oh, God. Finn Balor is interfering. They forgot that I exist. Come on, you had your BEI title shot, Finn. Oh yeah, right. He got jumped. Oh yeah, I forgot. Wasn't that Extreme Rules when Finn Balor lost to Roman Reigns with the whole demon revival shit? Oh god, Demon Balor. Less of Demon Balor in my life, the better, bro. I'll do it. All due respect to Finn Balor, he's an outstanding talent. Um, the demon shit either has to have a persona on some he doesn't know what that is of an alter ego. That's just how he behaves. If it's just him just crawling out, drop kicking niggas still on blackface, and what's Adam Pearce here for? The Vision isn't here, bro. He wasn't even at the Rumble. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Shout out to Chisel Adonis. He does outstanding content, but he makes me do this now. Oh, well, CM Punk doesn't care about the interference. Oh, but he's entering the ring, getting blindsided after his last match with AJ Styles a week prior to the Rumble. And Punk wants an explanation and his hands on Finn Balor at the same damn time. Everybody relax. It's only Finn Balor. He's probably going to injure himself again, then wear blackface. He might do that thing Sting did back on Impact when he was just putting the face paint on trying to be Joker or some shit. Punk calling out Balor. Punk, it's Velcro. Shit. Is that hard to take off? Cleveland will love me hitting the second tower. Come on. We're trying to draw. No. Pierce. Punk versus Finn Balor. They'll finalize it at the Elimination Chamber. That'll be one of the other matches outside chamber matches for the women and men's. Thanks to Triple H, he doesn't have to book that match. Shit, he doesn't have to be at the stadium. Shit, you don't even see the gorilla until the PLE next time on Dragon Ball Z. I'll go by myself. Top of the morning, you laddies. It's Jacksepticeye. Well, we got future NXT champions and security escorting them out. Are they still going to do the interview? Yo, fuck Cleveland. Sense a bit of doubt on Michael Cole after saying he jeopardized the world title. He jeopardized the main event that immortalized his career. Roman Reigns no longer. Fuck you, nigga. Your 400 days was an afterthought until Rock told the title and everybody thought you got buried. Uh-huh. Anybody can hear the audio, right? Just especially in Cleveland. Yeah. Oh, he cussed. He cussed. Yeah, I see you. I don't think you hate me. I think you love me. Romantically. Hey, yo. heavyweight champion of the world, CM Punk. Yeah, I mean, it's Punk. Look at my eyes, what do you see? Well, Punk doesn't care who's in front of him. He's still confident that he'd still be world's heavyweight champion come Elimination Chamber. Yeah, I'm the Will we see him wrestle? No, that's it. Oh, no. It must be Monday. I bet Adam Pearce already made a shirt. Adversary. Legal adversary? Or, you know what? Never mind. Ending surgery. You're guilt tripping on him popping a hernia? A night, yeah. So put them niggas in matches. Oh. Yo, Theory, why did your auntie give you that scarf? You damn right. Oh, what's Logan Paul gonna say? Drink Prime. What? Actually, that's the Miz. But okay, Logan. Fucking Ozzy. DoorDash. Oh, it's Natalia. The low key legend is crazy. Well, at least they gave her like a decent name and they gave her like a different gimmick. And now she's feuding over with Maxine Dupree. With the mouthpiece looking like a B-Tick Ronda Rousey. Na, 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 na. You're just like the other guys. Enough is enough. It is time for a change. Not even without the Botox is a threat. Y'all fucking with the new theme with Natalia? Damn. I mean, who wants to see your dad just always your husband always take bumps in their 40s? Oh god. What's your story with Stephanie McMahon? Who fucking with Stephanie McMahon that much to do a work shoot interview in the middle of your own streaming service, bro? Oh yikes. Here comes Maxine Dupree, part of American Alpha, even though her name obviously sells that she's also Canadian. Alpha Academy, sorry. I know she got ripped apart social media wise because of her green wrestling. Hopefully, like Maxine at least gets like in ring wise better, and she's with like a 18-year vet like Natalia. And Natalia showing all that grit and glamour after causing themselves. Oh damn! Oh, into an angle lock. Hooks her off the ropes. Ooh. Oh, spinning kick. Spinning heel kick. Oh, but counters her ankle lock with a kick outside over the steel steps. Hits her face first. God damn. Natalia's being more brutal. Oh, taking the announce table out. Natalia, damn. There goes my gamer chair by Michael Cole. Oh no. Face first into the commentary table. Mamma mia. Is she biting her? She is grabbing her and pummeling her. We're gonna make it to a 10 count. And we end this in a count out draw. Natalia just pummeling on Maxine Dupree. She never wanted to beat her. She wants to beat her down. No way. She's going for the sharpshooter on the commentary table. Is anybody even booing her? Oh, AJ Lee. And now she's coming in to help her. Natalia walking out of the scene of the crime, knowing what she did. Look at that. Sharpshooter. That sharpshooter. Been there, no restriction to security. Trying to end her career. Her lower region is completely shot. Oh, Natalia's coming back. Oh, it's Becky Lynch blindsides AJ Lee, hitting her on the steel post. And you know what that means, folks? Go home trouble elimination chamber. We're getting a tag team match between Maxine Dupree, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. And god damn, I hate how you can write this shit. You're given a format and you run with it, bro. This is even WWE 12 Universe mode was more unpredictable than this. Nigga, you just get Gold Dust just jumping you and you unlock him. Yeah. Bruh. Oh, Austin 3 versus LA Knight. Three-way match. It's capitalism. LA Knight. Yeah. And here comes the tag match with Javon Evans and Grande Americanos. For one fall. We got a fight between the Hornets and Pistons. Jalen Duran try to. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh damn. They swinging. Jalen Duran swinging. Oh yeah, it's been a minute since I saw Dybala and Pogba team up. Ew, I don't think I've ever seen him play for Boca Juniors. That sounds so gross. Pogba rescues contract with AS Monaco and becomes a free agent. I mean, the only upside about Ludwig Kaiser is that he's fluent in Spanish now. Oh my god. Does this make me more racist if I just don't tolerate it? This is the equivalent of the Edgeheads joining the Guerrero family in the Los Familias. No salsa, fish and chips. All of the times. Yeah, wasn't Ricochet 2022? I forgot he won the IC title. Ricochet won the IC title. What do you mean his career got hindered? Main roster was tarnished, nigga. You just weren't the main character. What? I'm done. I'm done with Ricochet bitching, folks. I'm done with Ricochet bitching. When is Ricochet gonna stop screaming victim every time he gets pulled over? And I bet it's because Tony Khan asked for them to sign over an NDA to talk more positively about the company. Because at this point, bro, you were a former NXT North American champion. You won the United States champion. You were tearing it up stuff for Aleister Black. You people, you took it like when I was doing content creating. We weren't watching you be pushed as an up and comer. Then you won the IC title. Then you won the Speed title, and you thought you were getting degraded after winning two of the best mid card championships in the company outside of the Speed Championship. I'm sorry. And then you say AEW is doing better with you as a heel, nigga. You're winning a belt they just introduced. Not the TNT Championship that was won by more prestigious people. Not even the tag titles. Not even the world title. You haven't been taken seriously since Prince Puma, bro. I hate Ricochet's victimhood mentality when it comes to just whenever it says that they're hindering your growth as a professional wrestler, bro. I hate how much of a mark he has to be for himself, feeling like you're not really being a good career. You don't have a good career unless you get booked over to a world championship. You are such a mark. Let me guess, he has a real grind. Yes, called it. God damn. And here we go. Real El Grande Americano versus El Grande Los Americanos in a tag team match. Oh, off the ropes and a slide up and the drop kick by Javon Evans already starting off hot. Doing the salsa in a self kick up into a jumping stunner. And it turns into a tag for Rojo. Oh! Bounces off the ring. And a bit of Lucha Libre coming from Javon Evans himself into a drop kick. Oh, reverses into an Irish whip. And the brother backflipped out of the way, tags in El Grande. Oh, but Rojo comes to interfere. I forgot what the Spanish word for blue is. I apologize, but I did not take Spanish class that consistently. I can understand if a demographic of viewers that have Spanish descent would be upset. Oh, diving double clothesline by El Grande Americano, the original. I'm shocked. Nowadays in basketball and soccer, I'm shocked how that's not cool to wear retro cleats. Like back nowadays, people wear Kobe's a lot in the NBA. Is it bad to wear older cleats in soccer? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's some older cleats that I wish I can own because they're probably cheaper now because they're a bit older, and they're probably not that old either way. Like if anybody remembers, like the Predator, like, and I mean the Adidas Predator YouTube, chill out. The Adidas Predator cleats that are owned by like Paul Pogba and stuff. Like, there's a lot of like players that I wish like had those uniforms. I mean, had those cleats I can play in that could be affordable, but still have the high quality. So I don't have to spend like almost half my paycheck on a pair of cleats that need like a minute of break-in time. Oh damn! Pulled both Javon Evans' legs. I thought he would not be that tall. Javon Evans like 6'4", bro. He's a hooper height. And they pull him to get him right into the Evans. Oh my god. Irish whip over to the right side and a reverse back elbow. Ooh, Pulls him straight over to the corner, and it seems like Los Americanos with the dominance. I'm not gonna lie, this match does not have to be like 15 plus minutes. Like this should showcase Javon Evans, do a simple story to still invest into the Grande Americano beef for the storyline. Javon should not be wasting his time than just being a partial moment. There should be a minimum 4 to 5 minutes because Raw's still what, 2 hours? Like the pacing has to be corrected in this. I never complain about the match quality. I always complain about the pacing of the matches. That's always been an Achilles heel of why the WWE product is so struggling to always get new viewers. It's never the duration of the show. It's the quantity of the match timing that you guys want to try to rush over to be like, I just need them to get their shit in. When we know that's the best you have for Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne being fake luchadors for plus 7 months, when we know Ludwig Kaiser and Chad Gable are culturally appropriating when Chad Gable should be like an underdog baby face. That would be more over than Sami Zayn at this point of his career. I hope they stop over this El Grande Americano storyline before WrestleMania, because I swear they dragged this out. Because if you could still remember from the previous WrestleMania that they had this storyline, and Rey Mysterio couldn't even be there, a flip up backwards senton Here comes the hot tag to El Grande Americano. Oh, and the backflip. German suplex. Ooh. Trying to go for a double German suplex again from El Grande. Hey. This is the equivalent if they made the Curry Man last for like, what, 3 years? Oh, into the flip. Damn! That high jumping kick from Javon Evans. The right hand by Javon Evans. Bravo. Oh. Oh, but that spinning back heel. A Grande Americano with a stop. And the second El Grande comes with the interruption. And Javon Evans, OG cutter out of nowhere. And here comes El Grande America. God damn! From the heavens. Now Bravo stuck. Diving headbutt. Cover. 3. There is no way Lons is battling against PSG. And Javon Evans, that's insane timing and athleticism. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3. And a big win for Javon Evans and El Grande. Oh, but look at that. The second El Grande Americano not taking that lost line down. And he jumped Javon first because he's racist. We're going to cancel El Grande Americano right now. I'm joking. We're not doing that today. Oh, trying to unmask him. You are culturally appropriating. You are American. So we should have the 3-way next for the main event. Thankfully, this is not going to be long. Javon Evans looked outstanding. We still don't know. They still didn't cover if Oba he's going to be a Raw or SmackDown superstar after showing up on both shows. Was SmackDown ever on Sci-Fi, or I'm bugging? Because I remember ECW was on Sci-Fi and NXT. If you were old enough, I know younger, late Gen years or Gen Alphas don't know about when ECW was its own standalone brand. I swear we still should have had a WrestleMania at Mexico City, but Abu Dhabi money and shit. Chamber. Penta, they should have gave you the IC title when Dominic was holding it. Miedo. If it's not gonna work with putting him into solo runs, but he always come up short, just team him up with Ray Phoenix because that nigga ain't doing shit. He's just there to make Carmelo Hayes look good. I like Lucha Bros. They're like the best tag team on AEW. Monster, leave me on my way. I'm getting this monster. I'm in my way. I'm getting this monster. I hate that song with Eminem. I thought it sounded nice. Oh. And Lyra Valkyria and Bailey, they're still a tag team still? Remember when Vic Joseph was an esteemed commentator on NXT? We never give up. I'm the influencer. You guys saw my theme song? What? What? If he's a breakup anymore, will that really and try to improve the status of Lyra Valkyria? Because Lyra, did somebody say a slur? Yeah. And so you bitches leave. Let's get ready for the main event. Who said that slur to Bailey? I need those ass pics, Bailey. Oh, okay, wrong fan. You know how Watch Monday Night Raw is? We don't have music that defines it. And I'm not saying that we need alt rock, old school rock music. There's great music out there. Nigga, now we're back to the vignettes of Obafemi, and they never did segments hyping over Obafemi until the final third of the show. This nigga, they literally just squashed your World Tag Team Champions, squashed Kit Wilson, and and all Adam Pearce is still focused on is a nigga that somehow got himself injured for surgery. Yo, Adam Pearce is the worst GM I've ever seen, bro. And I grew up with the anonymous general manager on Monday Night Raw back in 2010. I grew up with John Laurinaitis. And you niggas don't, I'm gonna say this nicely. Some of you guys don't know what heat is, because there's go away heat, and then there's turn the TV off heat. If you tell me that you guys miss a segment that doesn't involve CM Punk with John Laurinaitis back in the day, I swear to God, you guys gotta be the most boring people to conversate professional wrestling with. They want none. And Gunther, Mox, AJ Styles with Dragon Lee coming in out of nowhere. Hitting him with the bell. I swear they did the same sleeper hold on the rope thing, looking like he got hung with Brody King and MJF on Dynamite the week prior. Two. How old are you again? Well, qualification for next week will be Javon Evans Gunter or Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champion. I got a trophy for doing nothing. PlayStation, y'all suck. Bailey, Asuka, and Natty Neidhart, even though it was a count out draw. We know after that the go home show will be a tag match involving Natalia, Becky Lynch, and Mac Dupree. Jesus Christ! All right. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Cero, miedo, boo. Our main event time is here. Oh, Penta with a fucking mouthpiece. All right. I love the Mexican aesthetic in the gear. Oh my god. Kilos. Who you guys got winning this three-way? LA Knight, not Austin Theory, even though they need probably a Vision member in this. I'm gonna update the scores real quick. What's going on right now in the NBA? Pistons beat a big fight involving certain players. Miles Bridges went with Jalen Duren. It ended 110 to 104. Hornets winning streak is over, but the Hornets they're in it to win it. 25 and 28, just 3 games below 500. LaMelo Ball finally has somebody he can trust on the floor with him. Brandon Miller ended up with 24 points, 20 points coming from Colin Knippel. LaMelo only with 20, but the inefficiency was probably there for LaMelo Ball. But it was all team basketball. The rest of the Pistons were up with 11 points, ending with Tobias Harris. And the Cavs going against the Nuggets with James Harden on the new addition to the Eastern Conference since his time with the Sixers. And the Nets. Dun, 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 dun. Cero miedo. Boah. Austin Theory's entrance theme sounds so Linkin Park. The only thing I can't sell Austin Theory being a heel with the shortcut hair, and they're trying to give him this little grubby heel aesthetic, and the guy has to force himself to push mean faces. He doesn't look slappable. He doesn't look punchable. You can push him over as a plucky baby face authentically. I think it's a struggle not to just make a heel. WWE has a struggle to find guys that can rightfully make themselves unlikable. And Theory putting him over just as this plucky feud with them being the masked man. They abuse being the masked man too, guys. I swear to God, like the equivalent, Austin Theory becoming the masked man was the equivalent of the DDP showing up as the man harassing Undertaker's wife back at the Invasion. But the only thing was, it was insane to see DDP in WWF television at the time because of the buyout. So, of course, seeing like, oh my God, Diamond Dallas Page is here. Diamond Dallas Page was stalking Undertaker's wife. Oh. That DDP's a creep. Oh boy. Like, you see what happens when you just realistically try to enforce that? If it was like a surprise attack on the Undertaker, trying to harass the Undertaker instead of Sarah, I think a lot more people would be super excited to see DDP on WWF television than they just push him to the mid card. It's a shame too, because I love Diamond Dallas Page, especially how he even changes people's lives. He was an outstanding worker for being a late bloomer into the wrestling scene, becoming a manager early in his career in the business. Here comes LA Knight. LA Knight, former two-time United States champion. I forgot, wasn't he like a SmackDown superstar beforehand? Odds on favorite. He knows the vision's in his way, and he's trying to make it to WrestleMania at the same time, trying to be a multitasker, and that even gets harder with Penta, that also has his own ambition. For our main event here to qualify for the Chamber match, here on Monday Night Raw, brought to you by Slim Jim, Blue Chew. If bro, you get Blue Chew at 24 years old. I remember somebody said they needed a Blue Chew at 24 years old. You need to go to your doctor. If you need dick pills before you're 50 years old, that's a problem. That's a you problem. That I don't care about your health. And here we go, three-way. But one man has to leave as the victor here. But also, the numbers game doesn't just stop with people hate on Austin Theory. And they will jump him. Fight back! Oh, wait, do I have it? Hold on. I'm not going to put the N word. I'm not going to OD it. I'm not going to overdo it. Fight back! I should have added that to be in the beginning, bro. Oh, double clothesline, and both men are out, but LA Knight trying to prioritize the victory here, and here comes the schoolboy. The roll-up gets a near fall. It's still every man for himself, even though everybody hates on Austin Theory. I'm sure Logan Paul has himself a qualifier as well as Brunson Reed. And the shoulder tackle. I don't know. I think they'll put I think they'll put Logan Paul before they put Austin Theory in the Elimination Chamber match. And is this like brand separate as well? Because whoever wins the chamber gets a shot for the world, or for the becomes like a number one contender for whoever's the WWE champion. Because it's already set in stone. Dun, 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 dun. I fucking loved Abyss, but they booked shit. They ruined Abyss on TNA at the same time, bro. If you guys weren't there for Prime Abyss, I would say around 2005 to 2006, 2007. Before the whole Dr. Stevie shit with Stevie Richards, and they just made they either made Abyss a blubbering idiot, an overall madman with no sense of direction, perennial jobber, instead of like an ultra violent monster with a torturing past that takes like a lot of punishment. I loved Abyss so much because he reminded me like a mix of Kane with a mix of Mankind. And he was like up for anything. The brother had his teeth fucked. He had a cool mask that was like so portioned, and he was so fucked up. He looked legitimately like he's been through all types of violence. You don't see wrestlers like Abyss like that anymore, unless you want Nick Gage, where you can just feed him half a eaten corn dog and some fentanyl, and he felt like that nigga got a bonus for a CZW show. That's the respect you get when it's CZW. God knows what you get when you see a paycheck from Game Changer Wrestling. They probably pay you in something. I don't know. What vibes? They pay you in good vibes because you're the biggest indie promotion in the world? Reverse on the Irish Whip. Into a sidewalk backbreaker. Cover. 1, 2. Near fall. Headlock. Here comes a knee straight over to the back of the neck of LA Knight, causing him to nearly lose air. No count, no count needed, and yet he's still releasing the hold. And Austin Theory has to remind the referee that there's no disqualification over using the ropes as a weapon in a triple threat match. Holy shit. Giving him the George Floyd. Oh, I'm joking. I'm not going there. Snap suplex. 1, 2, near fall. Practically a one-on-one match unless Penta can get himself back in the game. Going straight for a suplex, but LA Knight counteracts with his own back neck breaker. Reverse for the cover. 2, near fall, broken up by Penta as soon as he enters back into the ring. Back to a triple threat. But a face breaker straight by a jawbreaker straight from LA Knight, trying to go for a clothesline. He enters out. Thankfully, it's not the Rumble. Triangle drop. Oh, triangle clothesline by Penta, and a right hand by Austin Theory. What a move. What the fuck is Paul Heyman gurgling about, fam? And a right hand. Thank you guys for the love on the Super Bowl video. I wanted to add more. Shout out to Sam Darnold as well. Out of all the things I've seen, being the only quarterback in your draft class with 2 quarterbacks with a combined 3 league MVPs, passing leader, breaking the record in rushing yards as a quarterback, and plays with the most consistent quarterback, with the most consistent receiver in the last 10, 15 years out of Mike Evans. Still, the only person to be an absolute flop is probably Josh Rosen. And probably if Darnold stayed a journeyman or he accepted that contract over with Minnesota, Minnesota absolutely fumbled the bag, not paying Sam Darnold. Now, he didn't even have to be a good quarterback to win the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks, but it was money well spent over that max deal. Slingshot into a flying shoulder tackle, and LA Knight takes out Austin Theory like it's the Rumble. And Penta somehow outside the ring. All that frustration, knowing how much the Vision has tried to take LA Knight out of the picture and going for a suicide dive, LA Knight disrupts it too. Does it matter if they go overtime on the streaming network? Or no, it doesn't matter because they don't have to worry about time constraints. Two, going for a roll up. Still nothing. Ooh. Rolls up into a back body suplex. Why is Theory going for that type of move? I'm going to roll over from the mid rope, and then it's going to be an immediate counter for a back body suplex. Penta trying to go for something high risk. Cross body on both men. And a super kick. on Austin Theory with a stun, a kick to the back of the knee, put him in a lower region for a sling blade. Oh, and a Enziguri over to the corner to Austin Theory. Penta with a head full of steam. Going over, backstabber from the corner. 1, 2, near fall. Stopped by LA Knight. Oh, and a super kick. Oh, going for a monkey flip. Nope. Gets countered and now reversed into Penta on the top rope with LA Knight going for something high risk. Oh, goes immediately up top. Oh my God. And now they're going to go for the same spot into an elevated superplex. Now Theory going for the cover. 2, near fall. Bro, it feels so formulaic sometimes on these three-way matches, how they start and how we're in the middle, bro. I'm not saying they're not exciting spots, but it just feels like the fans are just trying to see something actually unpredictable. El going for the stomp. Theory making that part of his arsenal. A la Seth freaking Rollins. Reverse DDT by LA Knight. Both men are down. Ooh. Athletic. Round of adrenaline. LA Knight. Yeah. Elbow from the top rope. Will we see blunt force trauma? LA Knight getting ready with the momentum. Of course, Brunson Reed and Logan Paul are going to come over. No disqualifications. Oh my God. Oh, and Brunson Reed gets blindsides with a pounce and an elbow drop. LA Knight, his chances to go to the chamber slipping thanks to the vision. Oh no. Tsunami. Tsunami. Theory, why do you care? Why do you care? Why does the GM care, bro? This is no DQ. He's allowed to interfere. And now a stomp by Theory. Where's Penta? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's Penta. Oh, who's this? The Masked Man again, a super kick. And now the stomp to Theory. The Masked Man stops Braun Breaker at the number 2 spot. And now the Vision trying to chase the Masked Man, the man who cost the Vision the chance to win the Rumble. Escaping the crowd. LA Knight needs to crawl to Austin Theory. Both men in worse shape than they came in on. Do people still think it's Seth Rollins or is it going to be Grayson Waller? Some person said that's Grayson Waller. Blunt force trauma. Cover. 2, 3. And LA Knight wins the main event here on Monday Night Raw. Thank God. Oh, God. This show was perennially mid, fam. And now Adam Pierce being accused of this mass assailant being planned to interfere in the Vision's business. Oh, who's this?
Yo,
What's poppin', John Jay? How's it going?
nothing much.
No, thank. Well, the upside about this, the show is over. I was surprised though. They have this masked guy come and interfere with the main event. It costs one of the bald dudes the world a chance to be at the Elimination Chamber match. And I'm not gonna lie. Fun fact: Sam Darnold's the only man in that draft class to actually win a Super Bowl as the quarterback.
That's funny.
Josh Rosen. If you remember Josh Rosen, that was on the Cardinals. Then he didn't have he couldn't pick up a second contract. Then you, of course, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. That's probably, and Baker Mayfield's also coming from that draft class, but he was on the Cleveland Browns.
Jeez.
So that's the fun. Yeah, that's how it is when it comes to your quarterback leading in rushing yards, and he didn't even scratch 50 yards. That is hilarious.
Yep.
But who else was in the draft class in 2018? Saquon Barkley. No, he won a Super Bowl. Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb. I was expecting a bit more out of Bradley Chubb. I thought he was going to be more of a all-pro. Quentin Nelson, if you remember him. Roquan Smith. Mike McGlinchey. Minka Fitzpatrick. I don't think he lived up to that much of expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Davenport, Darren Payne, Colton Miller, my fault. Tremont Edmonds, Derwin James, Jair Alexander. This is probably one of the most well-known draft classes in recent memory. Most of these men became Pro Bowlers, Super Bowl champions, MVP. Nick Chubb was at only the 35th pick with Will Hernandez as well. And I'm not trying to be a bully, John Jay. Honestly, I can see why the offensive lineman for the New England Patriots probably skipped out on media. Even though it's unprofessional, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because of course you don't like seeing you don't want to be the core reason, because your responsibilities, of course, your priorities to protect the quarterback. And sometimes how advanced defenses can be in the modern day of the NFL. So not everything's going to go your way. Especially when it comes to being the guard, the center. And people think that's not the most essential position. They make more money than certain skilled positions because how important they are.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the left and right the left guard and the left tackle, Will Campbell was absolutely atrocious. Yep. And that's a sad thing to say. I like Will Campbell. I feel like he has a good attitude. And now they're playing back the time he said, I don't know if you saw most of the draft when he said, I'll protect him with my life. In LSU, you either allow one sack over the quarterback, or you're going to be working at Amazon. And now brother allowed 4 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, and Drake May had to get 1 pick 6 and another interception around the bottom of the 4th. Like brother,
Yep.
Oh yeah. Wait, your Warriors are playing the Grizzlies tonight.
Drafting a quarterback is the hardest science that will always be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And there are draft classes where the quarterback is the best prospect, which is very rare. And Sam Darnold did something that when you surround him with everything, everything went well for Sam Darnold in the last two seasons. His combined record was 28-6 in the last two seasons. And so I've always said this to a lot of fake 49er fans is that if you think that Patrick Mahomes, if we would have drafted him in 2017, that we would have had the career that he had in Kansas City, no. Because the way Kyle runs the offense, he's looking for a quarterback, which he found in Brock Purdy, which is still play the quarterback and not run around like a go-kart and do crazy plays that look exciting. That's not Kyle's offense. So it would not have worked out. Patrick Mahomes on the Niners would have been a bust. Or Deshaun Watson in that draft class. The following year, um, even if somehow we were able, because Kirk Cousins was never going to become a 49er no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been like Jimmy Garoppolo, healthy, but the same play because the way Kyle's offense is designed. Or say, oh, what if we would have drafted uh, Zach Wilson instead of Trey Lance? He still would have been a bust in San Francisco because I've always said this about Zach Wilson. He played for BYU. His school was one of the few schools out in the West Coast that played double-digit football games. And when you look at their schedule that year, they were 9-1, and they played a lot of Division II schools because many of the Division I schools out in the West were on very strict lockdowns, and their athletic programs didn't play. But Zach Wilson, in a different 2020 season, he would have been horrible. And so that says a lot about the quarterback science. And I will continue to say this. The Niners next year don't need the flashy offense. If our defense healthy with the right pieces would carry this team like in 2019.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
But it just proves over to the standard of the quarterback is so fickle because you have to sincerely have the legitimate team. It's the equivalent of the same argument for what we do for basketball because I understand people try to diminish.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when people were trying to diminish the career of Stephen Curry, the time when Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP. And yes, I can be argued upon your mama, but they'll still be pushing headlines like Steph Curry overcame the doubters and became an NBA champion, knowing like the flaws into like the standard of NBA champions around the past and how he changed the style of play for how NBA players is now the standard. John Jay. Nowadays, you know who can outbeat the Golden State Warriors back in the 2015 season?
Cool.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Mm.
You'll be surprised how advanced basketball has gotten because you think like the worst players, all because it's the worst players back in the day, they totally struggle. Absolutely not. You'll be surprised how advanced young players can be. Fundamentally, they would be a bit shot in their play style, but automatically, there's not a lot of players doing back in 2015. Even though the best player in the league was Stephen Curry, there's a lot of advanced players. Like you would be insane if you lose your mind at Wembanyama with the current Spurs, how they can be all up and down the court. Especially Wembanyama, he is almost like just an inch behind Yao Ming, yet Yao Ming was not moving like that back in the day. And now you have somebody that can be more versatile in the way they can move out over the ball and how fast they can be around transition. They don't have to always try to square up mano a mano over floor spacing. And now they can be a lot more freelancing in the way they want to move the ball. And they can shoot better. John Jay. A lot of people can't admit nowadays players can shoot better. If you could go back from a decade ago's efficiency level, you could see why there were specialists at the 3 point position. Now that's the standard when it comes to the 3 point ball. Even if you're a below average player, they want you to advance at shooting the three at an advanced clip. That's why certain players got to be shooting 100 threes, 1,000 threes a week to push over that standard of at least averaging around 35%, 36% minimum. Your contract, you'd be at least pushing around 20 million a year if you were making 41% from three. That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
Even back in the day, because I grew up with Ray Allen and stuff, and Jeff and Danny Green didn't have this 3 point developed until later, until his time when he was on the San Antonio Spurs. And all those 3 point specialists would get decimated by guys like Duncan Robinson, guys you wouldn't even pay no mind to. Even outscoring guys like Klay Thompson, even though he was like the second best 3 point specialist on the NBA. And that just goes to how advanced players develop over the game and how that can advance. So you'd be surprised how that standard even pushes over to the NFL.
Yep.
Because what we considered mid players, you could equate the style, and I'm going to say this, Bengals fans are going to be very upset, that Sam Darnold was probably the equivalent of Carlson Palmer when he was playing with Chad Johnson and them.
Oh, that's interesting. Yep.
And that just goes over to the standard. Now it's a minimum that you have to hit around 3,500 yards, 4,000 yards a season to be considered a Pro Bowler. You would already be a Hall of Fame caliber player. Hell, people can joke around the time Tampa Bay had Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was hitting 5,000, 3,500, 3,100 a season, even though his past touchdown to interception ratio was piss poor at certain parts of the season. It was so inconsistent. But the way he was just passing over the clip, his ambition around the pocket passer, because I remember when he won the Heisman, he was not known for being an athlete. Around being the mobile quarterback when he was coming out of FSU. So you'll be surprised how much that could advance when you're just given the right coach and the right utilities around you. Because that's what Darnold need. Because Jets was a pigsty. Jets is just escaping the Jets is like getting out of the trap house. Respectfully, the guys that are still in the trenches. That's the equivalent of leaving an NFL franchise like the Jets. And imagine what you can do, like how Baker Mayfield after leaving Cleveland. With a washed up Jarvis Landry and a prima donna Odell Beckham, and then you leave for All Pro Buccaneers legend Mike Evans with an actual rushing rotation, with a legitimate pass rush.
Yep.
That was actually built over. Even Jameis Winston's teams weren't that bad.
I know because Mike Evans is, I think, one of two wide receivers, him and Jerry Rice, that have been 1,000-yard receivers since their rookie year, which is
that's insane.
Technically Jerry Rice did not have 1,000 yards his rookie season, but what the amount of 1,000 yards Jerry Rice and Mike Evans, and he's had Jameis Winston before, and then he had Tom Brady, which was very lucky, and now he has Baker Mayfield. So he's had quarterbacks who can throw the football. And that says a lot about, like, I don't want to say this, but the modern day version, like he and Fitzgerald are like great wide receivers that have never had like Hall of Fame quarterbacks in their careers. And as much as we all know Tom Brady will be in the Hall of Fame, he was just there for like one, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah, Moss was
And
there for like 2 seasons.
and so Baker Mayfield, who is a pretty good quarterback, he will never win a Super Bowl because the NFC is just too strong.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter how good Todd Bowles is on the defense. His defenses are not what they used to be anymore. So my my point is that the NFL is a difficult league to win a Super Bowl, and some teams should look at. And again, this is going to sound kind of messed up, but you want to be like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to be good, but you don't want to be god awful. You want to be there in the middle because say you're constantly in the middle and you're building a team, there's going to be a quarterback class where a top quarterback falls to you because if you're like an 8-9 win team or a 9-8, because now that's the standard of being average is 8 wins or 9 wins. You're going to be drafting between 10 and 18. And so that's a good sweet spot that there's still some talent that have dropped because of certain things and other teams have different needs. And if you're able to stay right there, that is a good sweet spot. So most teams should just be like, as long as we're there, we will always be able to find young prospects we can develop. And we have the right coaches that are there year in and year out, that we build a culture of success. And of course, you're going to have those teams who hit on the coach, hit on the GM, hit on the scout team, and they just like find hidden gems that are always in the title game or in the Super Bowl. And so it's difficult to be in the Super Bowl. And I know 49er fans will call me fake, but since 2011, the Niners have been to the most NFC championship games with a record of 3-4. Most teams who are god awful, like the Cleveland Browns, cough cough, would take that.
That would be a franchise defining season for them.
And shout out to my boy Kenny. I know a lot of people give him a hard time that he is a huge Shador, supporter. I hope he's right, but I've been trying to tell Kenny, don't get your hopes up. He's on the Cleveland Browns. Their new coach is the former Ravens coordinator, who, under his leadership on the offense, what's his name? Lamar Jackson, his game has diminished. Now that he's not there no more, maybe Lamar Jackson could be that quarterback he used to be. And so that says a lot about the Cleveland Browns, where let's say, hey, let's just take this dude who was on a team that was always consistent. Maybe he can make our team consistent. And no disrespect to Shador Sanders. I know a lot of people want to, kiss his butt for some reason because of his dad and who he is. He hasn't done shit in the NFL yet. He made
his I'm sorry, John Jay, but it's like, Jesus Christ, his style of play is so unrefurbished. How he made the Pro Bowl is the equivalent of DEI nepotism I've ever seen in my life. And there was time, and I saw Jeff Teague made an all-star game back in 2016. But the difference was the Hawks were actually a good team. overall, they were like the Spurs. They were the Eastern Conference equivalent to the Spurs. But then you're seeing Shador Sanders, and I heard what happened to him. I don't want to hear that guilt trip crap. I heard that his house got invaded, but I don't want to hear that he's a good quarterback. I don't want to hear that. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I've always had this stance. When he was in Colorado, he was larger than life because Colorado, they okay. So if you want to be like if you want to give Colorado the benefit of the doubt, their only claim to national championship was before the BCS, which was known as the Bull Alliance Coalition, which was a dumpster fire, and that's why the BCS was created. Which was I believe the BCS system made college football very fun to watch, but you had all those losers. Oh, we need a playoff. In 1991 or 1992, Colorado technically claimed as the national championship of that year, even though they were not the best team, because that bowl aligned with and it was a flawed system. But then in 2000, they had double-digit wins and they played, I think, in the Gator Bowl or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2011, their first year they were in the Pac-12, they won double-digit games. But after that, they were bottom dwellers of the Pac-12 with my Cal football team, who was always like a 5-6, always way better than the Colorado program, you know, and my program was garbage in the 2010s. Dion goes over there. He brings all those kids from Jackson State. Like, he brings all the good kids and he kicks out a bunch of the players who are seniors. College football, you don't do that. But he decided to break the norm of college football. And then a lot of people transferred from the smaller conference schools to play for Dion. And so his first year in the Pac-12, he was 4-8. Shador had numbers, but he was not winning football games. And he goes to the Big 12. They don't play defense, and you know Kenny doesn't like that. But he had 71%. He had better numbers than the Heisman Trophy Mendoza. Okay, I respect that, Kenny. But I want to tell you something. Quarterbacks that have led the NCAA in passing and passing touchdowns and passer rating have always been bust. There was a player I told Kenny, Colt Brennan. A lot of people don't know him. Played for Hawaii in the mid 2000s. Drafted in the 5th round, bust. Then Michael Crabtree's quarterback, Graham Harrell, broke records that year. Drafted as a 7th rounder, could not even make the squad after preseason. That says a lot about Hawaii. They're not a program that are really good, and the competition at that time, they were not in the Mountain West yet. They were still in the WAC, or the Western Athletic. Funny name conference.
Because they're whack. Sorry.
And then the Big 12, Texas Tech had Mike Leach, who at the time was considered like a coach that the NFL, because of his revolution offense, which was different than most college offenses, but his offense predicated in a lot of motion. And college football, they don't do that. And so there is a reason why Gardner Minshew was drafted and had some success in the NFL, because unfortunately the great Mike Leach passed away. He was only like in his late 50s. But imagine if Mike Leach, after that great Texas Tech season, would have jumped into the NFL. What he could have done, nobody knows. So he's taken a lot of like small programs and he's made them dangerous. He made Washington State a national powerhouse for 5 seasons. Unfortunately, because they were a small school and they were playing the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 at the time had divisions, they weren't playing the USCs and the UCLAs and Cal. They were always, the only competition they had was Oregon and Washington. the big university schools. But after that, they were playing like a lot of Mountain West schools and things like that. So a lot of people looked at their schedule. Oh, they're not really good. So I hope Shador does become a good quarterback. But again, I've said this to Kenny. He will not develop. And you can say it's going to be the coach's fault. It's going to be his fault. He's not going to develop, and he will find another place where he will succeed. And we'll see what happens, but it doesn't look good for him. But there are a lot of people who want to defend him. Oh, he was young. He was young. And then I told Kenny the reason why he went to the Pro Bowl is I think Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence was like, nah, we're good. We're good. We don't want to play a dumb game that is meaningless. And so the NFL was running out of quarterbacks, and they're like, you know what? Let's just call it any random quarterback, and whoever accepts will go to San Francisco.
Oh, glory to God, Jay. Glory to God. You know what? Could you have Uncle Flacco babysit? You know, they used to be teammates. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have Joe Flacco there. Joe Flacco. Because there's fucking Joe Flacco with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow just so we can get away from the front office over in Cincinnati, man. I can't. I don't know if I could empathize with Joe Burrow at this point of his career, knowing there's like no direction going over for Cincinnati at this point in time. But geez, this is a sad point when it comes to like the state of what the standard is being a Pro Bowl. I'd rather you just plaster over on the website who just deserved to be considered a Pro Bowl, who's just the best performer of their position. And that's it. I don't want to see Shador. I saw Tyler Huntley make Pro Bowl, John Jay. I saw Tyler Huntley because he played a half of the season still above 500 because he still had Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry behind him, making it to a playoff appearance just for Lamar to shit the bed. And now you're having Shador Sanders. Oh, and I have his numbers popped up here, John Jay. Out of his 7 starts, he went 3 of 4. Mm-hmm. Sadly, that was the most winningest quarterback of the Browns season while having 56% completion rating with only 1,400 yards passing, 7 touchdowns off 10 interceptions.
And Dillon Gabriel had, I think, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions when he was the quarterback.
He had 7.
Oh, yeah, 7. Anyway, he was efficient. And I know Kenny's biased, but I've always been fascinated with Dillon Gabriel. Yes, I know he's barely 6 foot. But every school that he's played with, he played at UCF, which is a underrated school. And I'm glad that they're in the Big 12 because they were in the American for so many years. And before that, they were independent. Mm-hmm. They brought back their winningest coach because they technically have only been in Division I football for like barely 20 years. And so they brought back their winningest coach who tried to be an NFL coach, but didn't work out. And so if you're UCF, keep that coach because he made you go undefeated one year. And so they're an underrated program. Of course, Oklahoma at the time just lost Lincoln Riley, but he was still really good without Lincoln Riley. And then he goes to, of course, Oregon. They're the powerhouse. You know, like USC at one point, they were like better than any college, but Oregon has become the West Coast version of like the best schools in the nation out west. And they're going to be like that for many, many years. But the point is that when it comes down to Dillon Gabriel, I believe that he's got to request a trade. Also, if this is real news, which I was told a few months back, Deshaun Watson is technically still trying to be an NFL quarterback. And if you're Shador Sanders and you're going to be benched now by Deshaun Watson, who also has his own baggage and his own issues, which again, I don't
legal issues, by the way,
I don't want to talk about it, but you know, I have a very interesting take on that. But like this is not Kenny's former show. He doesn't want to do those shows no more. That's why I have Kick, and I might restart that. Probably maybe in March, depending on, because I'm hoping I'm back working, but Shador Sanders, you want to be the backup to Deshaun Watson after you played games and you're gonna have that entitled? Oh, I deserve the job. Again, that's dumpster fire in Cleveland, but I do think that Dylan Gabriel should be traded to a team that will appreciate him. Now, I don't know where that's going to be at, but if you're looking at the draft this year, you're like, you know what? Let's get Dylan Gabriel, because after Fernando Mendoza, the next quarterback who wants to return for a sixth season in college, the Mississippi, but then after that, you have Carson Beck, who's a 7-year college quarterback. So basically almost a decade in college, and that is sad right there.
That's just crying for help.
Yeah.
And at that point, I don't know. I would say there would be leverage on still a rookie deal, and you're not trying to battle for a quarterback. You would just be in purgatory of a job that you don't even know if you really want. Nobody wants that point of their life where you're in purgatory in a workplace and you're already still have a chance to get CTE and you have no insurance. In NFL life, that's practically redshirting. With sometimes you play, and that's crazy. I would say for Dylan Gabriel, I would have recommended him to thug it out. But if Shador Sanders has all the leverage in the world, especially with a new coach, and usually, John Jay, when there's a new coach, there's less respect. And that can leverage out that the front office will have more say over the newer coach that doesn't instill any type of culture on the team. That a quarterback would start making noise. But I would say Shador Sanders, the only hearsay I'll hear from is from Deion Sanders in the headlines that happen if they draft the new quarterback. Or they're trading for one. That I'd say if they had a veteran quarterback that's healthy enough, I would have traded for Tua Tagovailoa the last season.
Yeah.
I would have traded for a more seasoned quarterback that at least have the leverage. Because if we're being honest, the Browns don't have a bad team. That's the thing. Outside of Jerry Jeudy's hiccups, Quinshon Judkins has shown himself to be an outstanding young running back for the future. We've seen a lot of stuff. Isaiah Bond deep throws that sometimes go swept under the rug because sometimes they can't keep it. Cedric Tillman had some good upside. And this is when Joe Flacco, because he got one of the wins for the Browns over his first starts before he got traded. Was he off waivers? He got one of the wins after Shador took over the second half of the season. And sometimes those were self-inflicted wins with Denzel Ward that was under contract still. You still had Myles Garrett pushing over a Hall of Fame level season. And I know YTC would try to still push an asterisk because of the season extension.
Well, you look at since 2021, a lot of the numbers have been inflated when it comes to the stats. That's why there's going to be more quarterbacks as basically in the high 4,000, like 4,500 to like 5,200 because of that extra game. Now, say you're a team and you have like a 1 or 2 game comfortable lead that you're going to keep that spot in the playoffs, like a number 2 or a number 1. And you're like, you know what? If we're a number 1 team, we can get 2 weeks for our players to rest up. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That conversation about resting, not resting, has always been a talking point for at least a decade. But back to my point. Say you're like a team and you're fighting for that number 6 spot, or you're trying to fight for that number 5 spot, or even
Yeah.
that number 7. Say you're number 8, and you are going to stat pad because you're forced to play just to make a playoff appearance. Numbers are going to be inflated, and so Miles Garrett and Watt uh, got the sack record with that extra game, because for how many decades, not go back, I think it was 1977 or 1978, that the 16 game schedule. Before that, you got a 14 game schedule. And then before the Super Bowl era, the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, it was 12 games. And then before that, it was 10 games. So games have always increased over time. And that's why when you look at the numbers of like Terry Bradshaw, Joe Namath, quarterbacks in that era, who was
Yeah,
that
it was like
quarterback?
the '78 season. It was the '78 season.
Who was the quarterback in the Colts from the 50s to the 70s? What the hell was his name?
Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas was one of the first quarterbacks that was knocking the 3,000 yard mark. You look at his stats and say he played in the 90s, he would have been right there, like one of the quarterbacks in the middle. Okay.
Mhm.
Because in the 80s and 90s, 4,000 yards was becoming a huge concept in throwing the football, because in the 80s and 90s, throwing the football was becoming a bigger aspect in football. And so if you were a 4,000 yard quarterback, it was very, very rare. Okay. But then in 2011, the NFL had that strike year. One of the things that they were doing to do the union, like basically agree with the union, was how do we make the game more scoring? And so the union and the NFL basically came on a deal, and that's why the union and the NFL is a piece of shit. They said, now if you sack quarterback and you slam them to the ground like a rough tackle, they're gonna give you a penalty. Which at the time when you sacked the quarterback and you were penalized, it was like a 5 to 10 yard penalty. So
Mhm.
the offense would get an extra 5 or 10 yards. They decided, like, all right, if you hit the quarterback, it's an automatic 15 yard penalty. If you were holding a receiver down the field, if it was excessive, they would give you a 5 to 10 yard penalty. So it was like a serious, like it's an automatic first down. Now, if you were grabbing him or your hand was like in a catchable area, you're interfering with his catch lane. That was now a personal foul penalty. And so corners had to learn how to adapt. And so from 2011 to 2015, cornerbacks were entering the league who learned how to play football from college. And the ones who were like young, having to adapt to the new rules. It took until like 2016, 2017 for corners and defensive back coach to adapt on how you play. But even today, the NFL will not allow corners and edge rushers to play the way they used to play. And Roger Goodell says it's about safety. We don't want our receivers to get hurt by the corners, which I don't know if you're just trying to stop the ball. It's not like when they catch the ball, you pick them up and you body slam them like a wrestler, or you're basically like after you slam the quarterback, like you're like, oh, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting. Are they doing that?
At this point, it's just protecting investment.
And
At
so
that point, that's the nicest way they can say it.
and so then when they got their new television deal also that year. So that strike year, it was like a lot of collective bargaining, and it wasn't as big as it was in 2021, but the contracts started to explode. And so
Mm.
the quarterback who was, getting a new contract was Russell Wilson, who he reset the market above $25 million. Aaron Rodgers, a few years later, after his rookie contract and they restructured some stuff, his contract went there, and then other quarterbacks started to. Now they weren't at that level. Tom Brady at the time was still taking pay cuts. So then,
Sorry about that. Somebody sent a stupid code. Continue, John Jay.
okay, um, so then the 2017 draft class of quarterbacks. Russell Wilson's contract, he wanted an extension, and Aaron Rodgers wanted. So both of those guys, again, were waiting. Aaron Rodgers got the contract first, so he got 34 million. Russell Wilson got 35 million. Patrick Mahomes, when his rookie contract was about to expire, the owner saw what New Orleans was doing, so they can pay Drew Brees while they can overload contracts. Was like, and so they were like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna invest $500 million within the next 15 years for Patrick Mahomes. How we're gonna do that is that we're gonna backload the money." And so when he signed the contract, 40 million for 15 years, okay, it was originally 10 years, but then because of that, they were able to space it out. So Patrick Mahomes, who has won Super Bowls, every quarterback after him just started to raise the market. But Patrick Mahomes was winning Super Bowls. He was winning Super Bowls. Okay.
Trevor
Patrick,
Lawrence has a playoff win, yet he's top three. No, he's like top five now, highest paid.
yeah.
Lamar Jackson, I don't think he had a max contract beyond 30 plus million since getting signed back. Even though he does have accolades, so he has individual accolades.
Yeah.
He does have accolades that
So
at least deserve that paycheck.
So the point is that when Philadelphia decided to give Jalen Hurts his contract, he's being paid substantially, but there's a lot of incentives in this contract. One, he has to win Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at his contract, his base salary, basically what they owe him every year, what they have to pay him, is about $9 to 10 million. So $9.5 million per season is his salary. Jalen Hurts has to do all the workouts, all the like the voluntary stuff. It's mandatory for him. So all the bonuses increases his value of his contract. But if he's not getting MVPs, if he's not leading the league, if he's not doing things, that those bonuses go away. And worst case scenario, he makes his base salary between $9.5 and $10 million. But he won a Super Bowl. So that Super Bowl year, he was given the big contract. I think the 50 million, whatever his contract is. This year, he's not getting his 50 million because his incentives. He did not win MVP, so he's getting his base stuff. So while Jalen Hurts is compensated, what they decided to do was they loaded the contract, but every year it's like a new contract. And so Jalen Hurts has to win MVP, win Super Bowl to get $50 million per year. The good news is the Eagles know that's not going to happen. I don't care what Spongy says. I really don't care what Spongy says. He's going to get paid. But at the end of the day, he's never going to get all that money. And what they're going to do is that the money that's left over, they're going to do an extension down the road. So Jalen Hurts is going to make his 50 millions and all that stuff, but he's never going to get a new contract. Basically, what they're going to do is what New Orleans did, which what Kansas City is doing, and now what more teams are doing. They're front loading the contract, but what they're doing is that after the first couple of years where the contract is manageable, they will do. We're going to extend him, where then the money is laid over. So that's probably the only way where you can pay your quarterback, but you're able to basically uh, manipulate the system. And the NFL eventually will have to catch up with that system and have to cap uh, how you pay players, because what owner, say 10 years from now, is going to say, hey, let's invest $100 million per season for one player, because it's going to happen. And so, and and it is true, these billionaire owners have all the money, but even a billionaire knows that some contracts are just ridiculous.
I'm going to pay. Look, John Jay, this is my first job, so I'm just doing what's right. Sean Watson's contract lasts for another year, and I'm paying him $46 million a year to not touch the field in the past two. Oh, Jesus Christ. At this point, Kyler Murray deserves his money over this. This is ridiculous. You guys, at this point, I'd rather Dak Prescott keeps losing playoff games over Deshaun Watson missing football games. And you know what's the worst part about all this? Some of these guys haven't even put up above 500 seasons. Kirk Cousins makes more money than all-pro receiver Jamar Chase. Somehow, he makes more money than Aiden Hutchinson and Nick Bosa, all because of the saturated quarterback market. Yet you guys are paying for loose ends that you guys can't have any trade capital with when these men turn 35. The only upside is when we stop trying to overdo these baseball contracts, Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be gone before he's 30.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly not Justin Herbert, because there's still an upside, but they'll probably say that they're going to probably gamble on all-pro wide receiver come the draft. Lamar Jackson, because of his individual accolades, I feel like the only acceptable contracts that still exist is probably Burrow, strictly on his one Super Bowl appearance. Josh Allen, because of his MVP status. Possibly Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes already has an instilled Super Bowl. He already has like an instilled Super Bowl. He already has a Hall of Fame level career before the age of 25. Mm-hmm. And that contract started around 2020. He still won? He won like what, two to three Super Bowls and made majority of the AFC championships over this decade.
Mm-hmm.
So he already has a solidified career defining around this generation of being the key quarterbacks. And that's just surrounding the NFC.
Yep.
While you would say our most esteemed NFC quarterback is Brock Purdy. Or if you want to be nice, you could say Jalen Hurts, because at least he succeeded over his 2 Super Bowl appearances. Deshaun Watson making that contract is abysmal work. Other than Jordan Love, that has just started football games, but at least made some impact over his playoff wins. And even though it was a team effort, Jordan Love did not play that poorly against the Chicago Bears. Putting up I think he put up like 3 passing touchdowns, over 400 passing yards in a losing effort.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the quarterback position, what do you think outside the quarterback position is the most undeserving contract?
Let's see. So there's a rule of thumb. So in offense, there are 3 players you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's eliminate the quarterback. The left tackle protects the quarterback's blind side. I think Tua currently is the only left-handed quarterback in the NFL. I think.
So you'll try to add the right tackle in this as well.
So, but besides all of that, almost every starting quarterback is right-handed. So left tackle, okay.
Mm-hmm.
A quarterback has to throw the ball, so your best receiver has to be paid. Okay, your best receiver has to be paid. And now, how important the tight end is. Now, the tight end is not just a blocker, but they're also a secondary receiver. So, by order, you take away the quarterback, left tackle's number one, receivers number two, and then tight end is number three. And then the rest of your offensive line, you can always find bargain players who are really good because let's be completely honest, offensive line players are rarely paid a lot of money. Now, if you have a good quality center, you'll pay them, but they're not making tackle money.
Oh yeah,
Running backs will always be the enigma. Yeah,
they wouldn't be the
yep.
priority,
Running.
especially even though the running back market is completely like done. Josh Jacobs is the highest paid running back in the NFL.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs only at the age of 26, he made a value of around an average 12 million a year. A year. Back in the day, around like 2012, John Jay, you know how many quarterbacks would be making around 60 million?
How much?
James Cook. Well, if we look around the time period, you'll be surprised who was the highest paid. Wow, okay, that's somehow not generated.
Yep.
How far can they go on this website? Somehow Brees Hall was making around $9 million. And that was only like set like around 2022. So imagine how much Adrian Peterson was making. He was league MVP. Travis Etienne, this is around 2021, and Chris Evans were only making around $3 million. That's depressing. Oh, wait, no, active. Hold on. 2012, nobody was active at this time period. And if we're looking at the wide receiver market, you'd be surprised who's getting paid.
Hmm. Yep.
It is shockingly Tyler Scott come 2026. Right now, Jamar Chase is the highest paid with $160 million. DK Metcalf overpaid. T. Higgins, because they needed to keep somebody to make Joe Burrow stay. Garrett Wilson, I swear that contract is the chain on his neck for the Jets franchise. Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Jameson Williams, even though I feel like he underperformed this season as a borderline secondary option at the receiving core. Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs, over fucking paid. When was that contract put? 2025 for $60 million when Philadelphia picked him up?
Mm-hmm.
For 3 yards? John Jay. He put up 3 yards.
Yep.
For $60 million? Jason Pierre-Paul with 10 good fingers could have done better. Jacoby Myers somehow makes more than Khalil Shakir. And Cooper Kupp, 2-time Super Bowl win. I hate to say it, and it has to be with 2 division rival teams. John Jay, why me, man?
Mm-hmm.
Is only making $45 million. At least they're predominant type A options at the receiving core position, so I have nothing against it. I'd consider like the most overpaid is probably Darius Slayton because of his lack of like play in the last couple of years and his inconsistencies when it comes to like going ghost, especially on certain routes. Because there were some winnable games for the Giants last season.
Yep.
And somehow Derrick Henry's the top 5 highest paid running back in the NFL.
All right. I gotta go, man. I just got a text message.
All right. Appreciate you being on, John. I'm gonna close off here and try to get some sleep. All right. Thank you guys for coming. We're gonna close off here on the DST show. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend, and watching the Super Bowl with your family. Have a good night.